Although Vita Health Group provided this exercise class provisional with your health and safety in mind, each individual participant has their own limitations and should consult their general practitioner or an appropriate medical professional prior to undertaking the class. Should you be prone to injury, are currently pregnant, or be managing any functional limiting medical conditions, please seek medical confirmation prior to participating. At all times, ensure you follow all instructions provided by Vita Health Groups throughout the entirety of the recording. Should you experience any symptoms of dizziness, nausea, or increased pain at any point during your participation, please stop and seek the appropriate advice from your general practitioner or the 111 service.
Welcome to our beginners class for the hip. My name is Ryan. I'll be taking today's class. So the purpose of the class is to build strength and stability in and around the hip joints, looking at the surrounding structures and the muscles around it. This class is designed for people who are kind of recently struggling with their symptoms, haven't seen much improvement, or are new to the program. So the actual class itself will have a very big kind of range, nice variety of stretches and exercises to help build strength in kind of the lower limb, the core, and the trunk as well. So on your screen in front of you, you'll see a list of equipment that you're going to need for this class. Please make sure you've got all of that with you before you begin. And after you've got all that, we'll move on to the warm-up. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start with a bit of a warm-up now, just get the body ready for the class. So I'm going to start out with a nice, gentle march, just very steady on the spot. So looking to drive them knees up, get them arms moving, make sure we're swinging the arms as well. Make sure we're taking nice deep breaths while we're working through the exercise. So kind of the aim of the warm-up here is to raise the heart rate, activate the muscles that we're looking to work, mobilize the joints, and then potentiate, which to make the exercise we're doing a little bit more difficult as we progress into the actual class itself. So keep yourself stood nice and upright, nice deep breaths. Keep driving them knees up, don't let them fall down. So as the heart rate begins to pick up, we'll actually increase muscle temperature as well, which improves muscular flexibility. All things that are good to help us perform and to prevent any kind of injury or anything like that. Okay, so we're going to progress this march into a nice, steady jog. Just keeping it on the spot. Again, don't forget about your breathing. Nice deep breath throughout. Nice and light on the toes. If you want to swing the arms a little bit as well. That's it, a little bit longer. Again, just kind of jogging at a comfortable pace, nothing too serious for you. Okay, I'm going to move on to the joint mobilization for the hips, the lower back, and the pelvis. So we're just drawing these nice big circles as far as we can. Keep the hands on the hips to guide. And then we're going to change direction and the exact same thing going the opposite way. Again, nice deep breaths. Really feel that kind of stretch through the muscles as you push in each different direction. Okay, and then just on one leg at a time, just as far as you're comfortable with, just swing that leg in forwards and in front behind you. Focus on one point in front of you, or pop your arms out just to help you balance a little bit. And again, you can progress it just by swinging a little bit further. So you're just looking to feel that stretch in that hip, and activate the glutes as well. Also activate through the leg, where we're just keeping that little bit of balance. Okay, and then the exact same thing on the other side. Again, pick one spot in front of you, get the arms out, and just swing that leg. If you do need to put your foot back down to gauge your balance, that's fine. Good stuff. Okay, and then we're just going to start to bring it up the body a little bit into the shoulders. I'm just going to draw these nice big circles with the hands. Again, progress it yourself, kind of as far as you want to go, as far as feels comfortable for you. If that's just a small circle down here, that's fine. If we can we bring them up into a nice big circle, forwards and backwards, and just keep going. Helps to stretch out the chest, the upper back, even work into the neck a little bit as well. Again, a good warm-up kind of targets the whole body rather than just certain structures. Good. Make sure we are changing directions. Good stuff. And I'm going to move on to mobilise the actual spine itself. So various different movements for the spine. So I'm going to start with feet nice and close together. Again, nice deep breaths while we work through these. Popping our hands on the front of our thighs and just sliding down as far as we can. When you reach that point, very slowly return to your starting position and repeat. So 5 of these. Again, make sure we are just staying in a comfortable range. So if that's only to your knees and back up, that's perfectly fine. It's just as far as you can go. Okie doke. And then once we've done 5, the exact same thing, hands round on the back, just below the glutes. And we're just going to slide down towards the back of the knees. Again, you won't get anywhere near as far as you will going forwards. And again, it's just as comfortable as you can, kind of in terms of distance. So 5. Once you've done your 5, hands round onto the sides, kind of where your pockets should be. Maybe open up your feet a little bit wider for this one. And stand up nice and straight, and you're just going to slide one hand at a time down towards the knee to side flex the spine. And the exact same thing going in the other direction. Good. Again, nice deep breathing as we work through. So to each side is 1 rep, so you do 10 in total. Good, last one. Then you're going to, again, feet still in kind of position, arms out in front of you, and you're going to rotate to look over one shoulder, and then rotate the other way. Again, each side being 1 rep, 5 of these. So again, 10 in total. Keep counting your head. Make sure you keep the hips facing forwards, so we're just rotating the lower trunk. Okay, then give everything a nice little shake off as we draw towards the end of our warm-up. So we'll move on to the actual class itself now. So here's just a quick reminder of the equipment we'll need for this class. Okay, so this exercise is called clamshells or clams, looking to build strength in the glutes. So different glutes within the body, there's 3 different ones, and we're looking to work the ones kind of more around to the outside and the ones that rotate the hip itself. So I'm going to bring ourselves down onto our side, doesn't matter which side to start off with. Laying down, outstretching our arm over our head and bringing our knees together and our feet. So feet stay together at all times with the knees at about 90 degrees. And then very, very slowly, once we're comfortable, we're going to lift this top leg until the knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. So again, always keeping the feet together, nice and slowly. Bring that knee up, squeeze the glute at the top, and slowly lower back down. Okay, so we're going to do 10 of these. Spin over onto the other side and then take a rest. So I want to perform these really, really slowly, taking nice deep breaths as we work through. Just counting up to 10 in your head. Good. Make sure you keep squeezing that glute as the knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. Good. Really, really push as we get up to the top. And after 10, I'm just going to spin round onto the other side. Get in the exact same position as before, so the arm up over the head. Get the arm wherever feels comfortable, and then bring feet together and the knees to 90 degrees again. And then again, nice deep breaths, bringing that knee up towards the ceiling. Squeeze at the top and lower back down. Good, really push that hip at the top. Slowly lowering back down after we've pushed up. Good, nice steady pace. Good, halfway, 5 more. So we're working the glute med and the glute min here particularly, where the glute max is the big one, which kind of works as a hip to flex and extend the hip. So these are often sometimes neglected, but really important for kind of the translation of the hip and the way it rotates. Really important for the knees as well. And the last one, go ahead and bring ourselves up into a seated position. I'm just going to take a 20-second rest, just let the legs recover. Some nice deep breath before we move into our second set. Okay, so again, going back to the side that we started on. So again, get into that start position with your arm up above the head. And bending the knees to a 90-degree angle. So just get your upper body nice and comfortable so we can work bringing this knee up towards the ceiling again. Again, squeeze that glute at the top of the range and slowly lower back down and repeat, going for 10 reps again. Really steady, nice deep breath. Good. Remember to lower down slowly as we go up. Good, 2 more. Make sure we keep squeezing that glute. Make sure we're keeping that knee pointing right up to the ceiling and we get to the top. Good, and after 10, we're going to bring ourselves back up onto our feet. We just a little bit walking on the spot, marching on the spot before we move into a little bit of a rest break. So just take 20 seconds as a bit of a recovery, get a drink, get your breath back before we move on to our next exercise. Okay, so our next exercise is an adductor squeeze. So really good for building strength, kind of between the legs, so in the groin area, also the adductors. Really good, really important for the knees and for the hips as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin sat on the edge of the chair. I've got a pillow here. You can use any kind of a cushion, or a football, anything like that. Anything with a little bit of give that you can just pop between the knees. So as we push them together, it's something to push into, okay? So at the edge of the chair, feet nice and flat on the floor, hold onto the chair, and for 30 seconds, we're gonna really, really squeeze our knees together as hard as we can, 100% maximal contraction, starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Really, really squeeze them legs together, really, really push as hard as we can. You should see the legs kind of trembling a little bit of a shake as we really, really push them together. So don't let the intensity drop. Make sure we are pushing as hard as we can for that full 30 seconds. Should feel that kind of that shake come on a little bit more as we really hold that. 10 more seconds, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect, after 30 seconds, take that pillow out, stretch the legs out, bring yourself back to your feet. Again, just give your legs a nice little shake out, get them activated again. Okay, so again, just gotta take 20 seconds, just give the muscles time to recover, a little bit of a breather, get yourself a drink if needs be. Again, 20 seconds, then we'll move on to our second set. Okay, so moving on to our second set now, the exact same thing. We're gonna hold that for 30 seconds, really pushing as hard as we can. So no different to the last time we did it, apart from it might be a little bit more difficult as the legs begin to tire. Okay, so again, hands on the side of the chair, really gripping on, and then let's really squeeze them legs together. So 30 seconds again, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Keep squeezing. If you can't feel your legs trembling, you're probably not squeezing hard enough. Can you push yourself a little bit further? Get the muscles really working. Good stuff. 5 more seconds, really push. Hard as we can. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant, well done. Again, take that pillow out, give the legs a nice little stretch. Again, you pop that pillow down, give the legs a nice little shake, shimmy the hips a little bit if needs be. Again, just give yourself 20 seconds, let the legs recover, get yourself a bit of a drink if needs be, and again, we'll repeat that for final 30 seconds after we've had a bit of a breather. Okay, so moving on to our final set now. Again, this should be the toughest one. Obviously, as the groin starts to fatigue and starts to tire, that 100% maximal contraction just gets a little bit more difficult to do. So again, really put it in for this last one. Again, same position, hands on the sides. Make sure it's still 100% maximal contraction. Might not be squeezing as hard, but it's 100% of what you can do at this time. So 30 seconds again, starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Really squeeze. Last one for a proper rest. Move on to a different exercise after this. Really put it in. Again, nice deep breath while squeezing. 10 seconds left. Can you shift up a gear? Squeeze a little bit harder. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Let it go again. Pop that pillow down. Give the legs a nice little shake. Perfect. Good stuff. Good work. Again, take some time. Have a little bit of a breather. Let the legs recover, and we'll move on to our next exercise. Okay, so this next exercise we've got really works with lower limb stability and control with a very slow muscle contraction that I'll be working with. So to start us off, we're going to bring ourselves down onto the ground, laid on our back. Again, just slowly bring yourself down to the ground. I'm going to bring legs up so the knees are touching each other. And then as slowly as we can, we're going to let this leg fall down towards the ground, controlling it on the way down. Squeeze the glutes and then slowly bring it back up. And then repeat on the other side. Again, really slow, let that knee fall out. Squeeze the glutes and slowly back in. Okay, again, slowly lowering down. Squeeze the glutes and slowly back in. And just keep alternating from side to side. Nice deep breathing as we lower that leg down and back in. As slow as possible. Remember to squeeze that glute at the lowest point. After we've done 7 on each side, we're going to bring ourselves back to our feet. Good, again, one more on this side. Slowly back to that starting position. And once completed 7 on each side, we're going to slowly bring ourselves back up onto our feet. Again, just give the legs a nice little shake, move the hips a little bit, and just take 20 seconds, just get your breath back, get a drink, and we'll move on to our second set. Okay, so we should be ready for our second set now. Again, we're just going to repeat that exact same first set. 7 on each side, slowly lowering that leg out to the side. So bring ourselves slowly down onto the floor. Get yourself comfortable. Palms face down. And again, very slowly, just lowering that leg out to the side. Squeeze the glute and very slowly back in. Again, the other side. Again, just count it in your head. 7 on each side, 14 in total. And the slower we do this exercise, the better here. So it's quite good for hip mobility as well, opening that hip up. But a nice slow muscle contraction really helps with stability of that joint in and around the hip and the knee. Okay, just alternating from one side to another, nice deep breaths all working through. Again, once we've done 7 on both sides, we're going to bring ourselves back up onto our feet, nice and slowly, back into that starting position. Again, just give the legs a nice little shake. Nice 20 seconds to get the breath back, get yourself a drink before we move on to our next exercise. So we've got a straight leg raise here, which is a really good stretch for kind of the posterior part of the body, especially the back of the leg. Really good stretch for the hamstrings in particular. So I'm going to start out on the ground. Just lower yourself down to the floor nice and slowly and lay down on our back. Get yourself nice and comfortable, like so. Again, both hands flat down on the floor. And what we're going to do, one leg at a time, keeping that leg nice and straight. Don't have the knee bend whatsoever. Lift that leg up as high as we can. So there might be a little bit of a bend in the knee. The longer you can feel stretching the back of the leg up into the calf. It's going to hold that position there for 20 seconds. Nice deep breaths. Keep that leg up, don't let it drop. Keep trying to straighten it. And after 20, slowly lower down back onto the floor. I'm going to repeat the same exercise on our other leg. So again, nice and straight, lift up. There might be a little bit of a bend in the knee, just try and straighten that leg as far as you can so you can feel that stretch down the back of the leg. Again, nice deep breath for that 20 seconds. Good, after 20 seconds, gently lower back down to the floor. It's also a really good exercise as well, on top of a stretch, for holding the leg in that position as well. So after both sides, bring yourself up into a seated position, get yourself comfy, just let the muscles recover, some nice deep breaths, get a drink if you need one, and I'll move on to our second set after this. Okay, so in a little bit of a rest and the legs are feeling recovered and we've got our breath back ready to go again. Let's just lower down into that start position. Again, start on the same leg that we started with last time. So nice and slowly, really extend that leg and just lift up off the ground so you can feel that stretch in the back. Back of the leg and the glutes all the way down into the calf. If you can't feel the stretch in the calf, pull the toes towards you. Imagine you've got them on a piece of string and you're pulling it. Again, hold that position for 20 seconds. Nice deep breath for the 20 seconds. Go, and after 20, lower down onto the ground. And then swap legs, exact same thing on the other side. For 20 seconds, starting in 3, 2, and 1, and raise that leg. Again, make sure we're taking nice deep breaths and the leg is as straight as we can get it. So you might be a bit more flexible than me, maybe get your leg up there, but make sure that it's nice and straight however far you get it. Good stuff. After 20 seconds, slowly lower back down to the ground. After both sides done, bring yourself back into a seated position again. If you need to just give the legs a nice little bit of a move, bit of a stretch out. Again, take 20 seconds, get a breather, get a drink before we move on to our final set. Okay, moving on to our final set. So again, another 20 seconds on each side. So just leaning back onto the ground. Again, keeping each leg nice and straight. We're just going to lift up as far as we can and hold that there. Again, place the hands down and really deep breaths. And just hold it for 20 seconds. Good, and after 20 seconds, slowly lower down into the ground. And then once more on the other side. Again, nice straight leg. And pull it up. Good. Work up towards 20, and as we hit 20, nice deep breath and lower down into the ground. Again, slowly bringing yourself up into a seated position, stretch the legs out, and then bring yourself back onto your feet. Okay, so again, give your legs a nice little shake out. Nice little breather, and just give yourself 20 seconds again, let the legs have a little bit of recovery time before we move on to our next exercise. This exercise is a kickback, really good for improving range of motion in the hip, but for building strength in the surrounding muscles as well. So to complete this, we're going to start off on our knees. With our hands flat on the ground in front of us. And alternating legs one at a time, we're going to extend that leg out behind us and slowly bring it back in. Repeating the same thing on both sides. Just reaching that hip out as far as we can, as far as feels comfortable behind you. Make sure it's a real slow movement and we're taking nice deep breaths as we're working through. So we're going to do 7 on each side and then move into a rest. Just try and get the leg nice and straight out behind you if we can. Again, if you can only get to there, that's no problem. So again, just working to our limits. Really steady, try and keep the pelvis level where we can. So don't rotate round like that. Keep everything in line. Good. And after 7, bring yourself up onto your knees and up onto your feet and just walk it out, a bit of a move. Shake everything off and just take 20 seconds, some deep breaths, take a bit of time for recovery, and we'll move into our second set. Perfect, and moving on to our second set. Again, lowering back down into that starting position, nice and slowly on our hands and knees. Again, just alternating one side from the other, taking nice deep breaths, really stretch that leg out behind you. Remember, it's just as far as feels comfortable for yourself. Working within our limits. Again, 7 on each side. Good, and after 7 on each side, nice and slowly, bring ourselves back up onto our feet. Give our legs a nice little shake off. Some real nice deep breaths before we move on into a nice little rest break. So just take 20 seconds, bit of recovery time, and then we'll move on into our next exercise. Okay, so our third exercise will be a body weight squat. Again, a really good exercise for targeting kind of the whole lower body, but also quite good engagement of the core and the trunk as well. So for our start position for this one, just have our feet a little bit outside of hips width. Again, can vary person to person, wherever's comfortable really, but that's kind of how I like to have my feet positioned, and it makes it a little bit easier as well. Hands, you can have it across your chest or kind of just in front of you. So nice, again, just a comfortable position. And we're going to slowly lower down, bringing the glutes down to the floor, pause at the bottom for a second, and work back up. Again, a really, really slow contraction on the way back up, and a slow contraction on the way down as well, just as slow as each other, remember. Include that pause at the bottom, increase that time under tension. Time under tension is where the body builds strength. Again, counting in your head how many you've done, maintaining nice deep breathing throughout. So working up to 10 reps. Again, just work at your own pace, trying to go as slow as you can. Keep that back nice and straight. Make sure you keep that pelvis level. And one more. Again, nice and slow. Pause. And back up. Okay, so that's the end of our first set. Keep your legs moving, same as all the exercises we're going to do. Nice active recovery between them. So get yourself a drink, have 20 seconds rest before we move on to our second set. Okay, so that's the end of our rest break. Again, we're just going to repeat that again, the exact same exercise, maintaining that slow technique as we move into our second set. So again, restart with them feet just outside of hip width. Bring the hands across the chest if you have them on your shoulders, or just like that, wherever's comfortable for you. Keeping that back nice and upright. Lower down, pause at the bottom, and back up. So we're lowering them glutes right down to the ground, pausing for a second, and slowly coming back up. Imagine you're trying to sit on a mini stool that isn't there. Good stuff. Keep that deep breathing as we work up and down. And again, that's the end of our second set. Same routine. Shake them legs out, get yourself a drink, and just take 20 seconds to get your breath back. Nice deep breathing for our rest break. Okay, so that's the end of our final rest. What we do now is move on to our final set. So again, 10 repetitions of that body weight squat. So foot position, outside of hip width, hands across the chest, and make sure as we move into our final set, we maintain slow and correct technique. It's easy to lose that as we begin to fatigue. Again, nice and slowly, keep that pause at the bottom of the rep, and come back up. Nice deep breaths. One more. Nice and slow, pause at the bottom, and come back up. Good. Again, give your legs a nice little shake, get yourself a drink, have a bit of rest before we move on to our next exercise. Okay, so our next exercise is a stretch for the quads. So we'll perform this one side lying. So we're going to lower ourselves down onto our side and straighten the legs out as far as we can. And then one leg at a time, we're going to grab that heel, lowering ourselves down and just pull that leg up to pulling the glute and the heel together. Nice deep breaths and holding that stretch for 20 seconds. Nice deep breaths. Good. And after 20 seconds, we're going to spin around onto every side and repeat. So again, let ourselves drop down. 20 seconds, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Let the head drop, nice deep breaths. Pulling that heel right into the glute. And after 20 seconds, again, let that leg drop back down and bring yourself back up onto our feet. Again, give the legs a little bit of a shake the quads out. We're just gonna have a short 20-second breather and we'll go again. Repeating for 15 seconds and then repeat once more for 10. Really progressing that stretch each time. Okay, so lowering down onto the same side that we started with. Again, taking your time to get down onto the floor. Extend them legs out so they're nice and comfortable. And then we're going to pull that heel into that glute, holding for 15 seconds, starting now. See if you can pull that knee back just a little bit, rest that stretch. And again, nice deep breaths. And again, after 15 seconds, swap round onto the other side. Again, let that arm stretch out in front of you and pull that glute in like that. Again, 15 seconds starting now, nice and slow. Try and pull that heel back slightly. Maintain that nice deep breathing. And after 15 seconds, again, bring yourself back up and onto your feet. Give your legs a nice little shake. And we're just going to repeat once more for 10 seconds, really progressing that stretch as far as we can, pulling that knee right the way back. Okay, so just take a breather, just 20 seconds, have a little bit of a rest. Okay, and whenever ready, again, lowering back down onto that same side that we started with. Stretch the arm out overhead and pull that knee backwards as we pull the heel into the glute. So we'll hold it for 10 seconds, starting now. Again, don't forget nice deep breaths. Perfect. After 10 seconds, slowly lower that leg back down as we swivel around onto the other side. Again, stretch the arm out overhead, take hold of that foot, pull it towards the glute, and then just pull that knee back, hold that position. Again, 10 seconds starting from now. Good. After 10 seconds, slowly lower that leg back down to the starting position and bring ourselves back onto our feet. Perfect. So that brings us to the end of that exercise, but also to the end of that class as well. Thank you very much for completing it. Hope you enjoyed it. Please have a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break before we move on to the cool down. Thank you. Okay, so the same way we prepare the body to warm up for exercise, we have to prepare the body to cool down in the same way. So we just to start off with that, we pop our hands on our hips, nice big circles, working around as far as we can. So looking to lower that heart rate back down to a resting level and keep the fluids transporting around the body to the tissues that we've worked. Nice deep breathing throughout. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, and then change direction, the exact same thing. Try and use your hands just to guide your hips a little bit further. Really progress that stretch if you want to. Good stuff. Keep working. Twice more round, and I'll move on to our next stretch. Okay, so starting off, hands on front of the legs. We're just going to reach down to touch our toes, nice and slowly, and coming back up. Ensure we're going down as slowly as we're coming back up. Again, maintain deep breathing as we're working down to the toes and back up to our start position. Keep them knees nice and straight, don't let the knees bend as we work down. Okay, and then bring the hands up and behind the head. Again, nice deep breathing while working through all of these movements. So really open that chest up, nice deep breaths, and we're just going to work. Bring the hips out and the shoulders over to the other side. And the other way. And rotate to look each way. Again, just hold at the end of the stretch and work around the opposite side. And forwards. Again, keeping them knees nice and straight. Keep the back in line. And back up. Nice deep breaths as we're working down. Nice deep breaths in as we come back up. And the same thing, leaning backwards. Okay, then just moving on to very steady, just walking on the spot. Again, looking to keep those structures working. Looking to engage that skeletal muscle pumps. Every time your muscle contracts, it pumps that blood flow back around the body. Similar to where the heart does, but you know, rather up near the heart, right down near the structures that we've worked. So again, just nice and slow, keep your breathing nice and deep. Very gentle. I'm just going to move it around the mat, just side to side. Again, just engages different muscle groups ever so slightly. Okay, then just to finish off our cool down, some really nice deep breathing. Again, the nice deep breath really helps to lower that heart rate back to its resting level. So hands on hips or behind your back, wherever feels comfortable. Really get that chest out. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just keep repeating that. And that'll bring us to the end of our cool down. Thank you very much.